Surprise, surprise. I'm not alone.
Hey,
How are you?
fine, and you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good.
Doing good.
Right on. I
Trying to
was.
stay out of trouble.
What?
I said I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
Is it that hard? Really?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna go back
Hey,
to the
bucket
comment.
list,
Hello, hello,
Lynn.
Lynn. I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to make it tonight because I've had a little day surgery done this morning, and I wasn't sure I was gonna be in a good condition to be up here. But here I am. It's not that bad, and I brought some guests in, keep the conversation
Hey.
going, and make it a little bit easier on myself.
Yeah, you don't have to talk too much.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be fun regardless. So I have Marilyn and Tracy. For those of you who
Hi.
don't know them, you can go ahead and check their channels. They're amazing. Have a bunch of fun stuff going on for them. So, what have you guys been up to this week?
Working. Um, Today I made the video for your challenge. Edited it, so it will be on Monday morning. And other than that, it was still cold this week, I think. Right? Sunny but cold.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Here it was
So
very
no
cold.
outside.
Oh, I had some fun with a Lowe's delivery truck. I had them deliver here a stove for my rental apartment in Port Lyden, and they for some reason backed up into snowbank and into a ditch, and I couldn't get them out, so we ended up calling a tow truck. Hanson wants to say hi. Yeah, the truck got unstuck.
Hey,
It
Bobcat.
it took a whole tow truck to get them out, but
All
What
right.
happened to his tail?
he's a Cabot. My wife says used to tell people that they were half rabbit, half cat, but
Okay.
we're not sure. I think they were born bobtailed. We're not
Okay.
sure. We got them from the Humane Society, um, and Handsome's the one with the longer nub, and Richie is the one with the shorter nub.
Okay.
But
Cool. You want to join us up here, Lynn?
Yeah, this would be a good.
You can come and have a chat with us if you want. So, I was showing you guys in the background, but people haven't seen it yet. So, for my friends that are going to come at the conference, I have a couple of those that I'm going to give away. Little beer koozies or Pepsi or whatever you want to put in there. Okay,
Oh, Lynn is coming.
I'm gonna send you the link. There you go. And I don't know if you've been on a live before, but so yeah, I have 15 of those. I'm gonna keep one for myself, and I'm gonna give some to my friends at the conference. And I made two of these for my friend Annie, Back to Basics Homestead.
nice.
She had some stuff on her bubble, red bubble thing today.
Yeah, she had some stuff, and I had some stuff on there too. Mostly, postcards and stuff like that. It's a bunch of old pictures I had back in the days.
Had some stuff on her bubble.
I did it.
Oh,
Put your YouTube on mute.
stuff on there too. Yeah. Mostly, postcards and stuff like that.
No, the other one.
There's
Had some stuff on her bubble.
I did it.
Put your YouTube on mute.
stuff on there too. Yeah. Mostly,
Yeah, you just said there you go.
No, you put yourself
No.
on mute. Just put your YouTube
Push for the
stream
stream.
on mute.
StreamYard on mute.
I did it.
What do
Or
I need?
or close the tab of the YouTube.
Yeah, you just said, there you go.
Oh, I think it's good.
No,
No.
Just put
Yep.
your YouTube stream on mute.
StreamYard on mute.
The YouTube. What do I, I'm not sure which one.
Oh.
Oh, wrong one.
All right, you can come back if you want. Just close the YouTube stream.
Or mute it out.
Or mute it out
Handsome.
because you have the sound coming from the computer right back in your microphone, and it creates a feedback.
Claws, kid, claws.
Yeah. Fail.
Darren told me he might join up later also, so we'll see. Might be here, maybe not.
Is there a limit you can have on the StreamYard?
With the free version, I think it's 6.
Yeah. They came out with, they had an offer for I think it's like $10 a month. And I did that offer, and it gives me a little more. I think I can get 10 people on, and I can do upload more
Okay.
banners and stuff like that.
Okay.
We only hear
Hey,
you
Lynn.
now, so that's good.
Okay. Sorry, that was my first time doing it.
Well,
All right.
you had to do it for the first time.
Yeah, so it's your first time ever on a live stream?
Yep.
Oh, so I'm the
Oh,
first.
right.
Yay.
Welcome.
Just seen it there.
It's not that hard.
Mine
No,
was all
no,
Tracy.
Yeah. Annie has asked me to do a live with her in the next week or two, so I'll be doing one with her.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Hey,
She
Honey
she told me about it. It's
Sure.
gonna be fun. It's easier when we have people to talk about because you're not just there talking to yourself.
I do that a lot anyway.
Store, Carpenter Self-Reliance. People are starting to join. If you guys want to come have a chat, you're more than welcome to. So what have you been up to this week, Lynn?
Oh, what was this week? A lot. I'm just moving here. We did our big once a month shop today to Costco. And it was crazy there. Like busiest I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff missing still that hasn't been there. Prices, oh my gosh, prices have gone up. Gas here went up 20 cents overnight.
Yeah,
We're-
here too, I think.
We're at $4 a gallon, which I'm not sure how many liters that is, but
So, well, we're $1.72 a liter, and it's about $8 a gallon.
Yeah, it's about it
That's
here
crazy.
too.
My cousin called me this morning out in British Columbia. She reached $2.02 today.
Mm.
That's crazy.
at
Yeah.
least we're not getting any mean tweets. I'm sorry, that was
No comment.
Okay, so Darren is going to join in a couple of minutes. Right on.
So, and other than that, I cleaned all my plant pots and stuff because I am starting my seeds this weekend.
Cool.
Yay. What are you starting?
Bell peppers, onions. There's a couple of flowers that have to be planted or started. I have to look at my list. I can't remember. There's quite a few things that have to be started this weekend. I started sweet potatoes a couple of weeks ago, and so far nothing. So I don't know.
Nothing?
Nothing. So I don't know if.
Did you try that? Did you try some in soil? I saw that you put them in water.
Yeah, I had a friend message me and said that hers never worked in water, so I might try a couple in soil and see if that works.
It take a long time though.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so maybe, but I mean, like
Yeah.
I'm looking at them and there's like nothing. There's no nothing coming out of them.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I'm anxious to get started. I can't wait. I washed all my plant pots and everything, so we're good to go.
Cool. I think most people are starting off at around this time of year, starting to see, and it's sad when you see other people being further along than you are.
I've been panicking because I see everybody going, but I'm going by even starting this weekend is still a couple of days earlier than I should be, because technically it should be March 7th according to my frost date, but I can't wait anymore. That's it.
You're zone 3 or 4 or
5. 5B.
5. Okay. Yeah, but you can always start. I mean, if you have a bunch of pepper plants, you can always start them early. And worst comes to worst, that's the kind of plant that you can keep inside for a while.
Yeah.
You can and you can. I got to the point. Well, I have a bigger greenhouse now, so that might help. Because a couple of years ago, they got so big that they got too big for the greenhouse, and it was killing them. So, and last year they did great, and then we got snow June 3rd, the week after I planted them, and they never really
recovered,
came back. They were really tiny. They never really got very big, and I still managed to harvest quite a few. I mean, we're still eating them, the ones that I froze. So, but who knew we were going to get snow June 3rd?
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we broke a record.
Like Caitlin's. I mean, you're in June. Last frost date is supposed to be gone, and then you wake up and you have snow. Like, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lost the tomatoes, every tomato plant, everyone, and we had over 50 planted.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I cried. I did. I seriously cried.
I can imagine. I watch Remy and Annie on the Back to Basics there, and they've got these lamps and lights and everything. I got a window that I plan on putting some stuff in, and
I have the same light bulb that as Remy showed today, just the round one, and it's okay for the most of the plants.
I'm very restrictive on electricity. I've got it where I can pretty much do anything I want as far as running appliances and stuff, but to run a light bulb for any real length of time.
I have these this year. This is the first time I'm doing this. They're nice. It looks like octopus. And you can bend the arms to any side you want.
Oh, nice.
And I usually just do here, I'll take you in here. Hold on a sec.
Hey, Darren.
Hey, Darren.
Salut, ça va?
Oui.
There.
Nice.
I've usually just done this. This is just a day lamp.
I'll put you bigger just a sec. So,
and that always worked. It's just a day lamp.
Okay.
Which I use. I use that for these long, cold winters. But this year, so I got this thing this year that I'm trying.
Nice.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Our neighbor's rocking one of those, and like they're already harvesting tomatoes and stuff right now. It's like crazy. I need to go over and do a video.
I worry about people driving by our house because I'm worried they think we're growing pot or something.
Well, you're in Canada. If it was that, you're illegal.
Well, they're monitoring your hydro right now. Like, someone's doing something here.
Come on, I live in New York. We have 6 plants now, and they don't let us do anything in New York. Everything's illegal in New York, and they let us grow plants. Not that I am, but.
But Tracy, the
one's
LED,
judging.
Does the light use less energy for you, or because all those lamps are LED now?
Yeah, the LEDs. Yeah, that would really. I could do that. I'm pretty sure.
That's the great thing is it takes up so much less energy now than it used to.
Yeah. I've been running those ones for about 3 weeks now because I've got lemon trees in there, and we just got our first hydro bill, and it was only $3 more.
Nice.
So I don't think it's using a lot.
No.
But I'm also the light Nazi in this house, so if you're not in a room, the light's on.
They don't teach kids to turn off the lights anymore. Like seriously. Like,
Oh,
I'm running around nonstop. Shut off the lights.
Mine no.
I never learned that.
He's going to be 15 in a month, and he was like 4. And I'd gone upstairs and I'd taken laundry and I'd left the light on because I was coming back down. And he came over and he turned the light off on me. He goes, "Mommy, lights cost money." I'm like, "Well, at least you're listening."
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
I'm on solar power, and when my grandkids come over, if they leave a light on, I tell them, I say, "You know how long it took me to make that? It took me all day to store up that just for that light."
Between turning the lights off and actually throwing stuff in the compost, I'm like, I don't know how many times I go to the garbage and there's like a banana peel or an apple core in there. And look, seriously, the government's so green right now and they can't teach you this stuff at school.
Right? That could have been a tomato.
My best friend is always running after me for shutting the light off. So I don't know where. I don't. It's the light.
My kids'
the
school,
compost, I'm already there for a long time.
Our kids' school, they made them come home with all their garbage, and then we had to recycle it all. Like they literally would come home with all their stuff, and they would have to, because they have to pay for it here, right? We have to pay for garbage and everything. So, yeah.
Where are you at?
Trash to school with
We're in Trenton, Ontario.
No way.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, wait.
That's where I moved here from.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. My family grew up in Trenton and Belleville.
Yeah, well, we didn't grow. Well, it's like Grace says to me, our daughter, she goes, "Mom, when people ask me what's my hometown, what do I say?" I say, "You say you're a military kid. You don't have a hometown." Technically, she was born in Belleville, so I guess maybe.
Okay.
But our son was born in Nova Scotia, but we've been back here. Gosh, it'll be 12 years this summer that we came back. We were here.
Nice.
We went to Nova Scotia. We came back. My husband's trade didn't really move us around too much. The Hercs aren't in too many places. So
yeah, nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually grew up in. Well, I was born in Elmvale, up by Barrie, Ontario.
Yep.
And then grew up in Bond Head. It's like halfway between Toronto and Barrie, like a little small town with like 500 people. And then moved to Bradford, which it was the other side of the 400, and then moved around from there.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, family's originally from Trenton, Belleville area.
Oh, that's cool. We're not. My parents live in Florida. We're not actually from Ontario. We're from down east. But my parents live in Florida, and they got a new neighbor last year from Belleville, Ontario. And my mother said, "You got to be kidding me." She said, "My daughter and son-in-law and grandkids live in Trenton. Like, what a small world!" Like, they couldn't believe it.
It's amazing how small the world is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Darren, I loved your video with the Highland cows. If we got if we were able to have a cow, I would totally have a Highland. Like,
nice.
They are beautiful. My gosh, they were sweet.
Oh, great to hear. Thank you.
And it's gonna be fun just to go and see them.
To
see them.
Yeah.
And guess what you guys are gonna have for dinner when you come out on the Thursday?
Nice. I got scared for a second. I thought you were gonna say, "Guess where you guys are gonna sleep with the
What guy are you gonna do? Some rodeo.
areas they should be warm.
Yeah, you're gonna have Highland cows for dinner, and you get to sleep with the cows during the night.
Cool.
The little shed.
And I'm gonna bring some moose meat.
Nice.
And I'm gonna bring some of those.
Those are cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you drink cans, but
no, I don't drink at all.
No.
No, not at all. I took my voice, Darren.
Lucky you, I can't drink today.
Wasn't Thor the god of thunder?
Exactly, eh?
Yeah, I had tooth removed, and I had to do it through anesthesia surgery, and I have those little thing there that I have to put in my mouth once in a while.
You got to bite on and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And I was like, I want to say I was like 16 or something like that. And my mom drove me home. And I remember I was so stoned and I was drooling blood. And there was like, years later, there was still a stain on the seatbelt from the blood that I drooled from my mouth. But I was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is like so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun when you wake up until you realize that you're actually bleeding.
Yeah, Rem, just make sure you don't get the dry socket. I got that when I had one of mine off, and that it was worse than the surgery. Like it's not fun. Just just be careful. I know our daughter's probably going to have wisdom teeth out, and we can't wait because she is so quiet. And we always say she was born in the wrong century. She's very proper and quiet. I can't wait to see what she's like on the drugs.
Yeah.
My husband says she's probably going to tell everybody off or something. Everything that's been building up all these years, it's probably going to come out.
It's going to all come out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all at once. There you go.
Yeah, the drugs were supposed to calm me, but it did the different effect. I was super hyper, big eyeballs, and like, come on.
And the nurse that was
Run
there,
everywhere.
the nurse that was taking care of me is the girlfriend of one of my good friend. And I told her when I see Steve, I'm going to tell him that every time I push a little button, your girlfriend came right at me. So you need to get one of those buttons. Get one of those buttons and then she'll do whatever you want.
You have to program it for the specific woman, or
I got so many comments here. I'm just gonna not touch it. No.
Hey, Lucas, my son.
Hey, Lucas.
Oh.
You might be upstairs with all the rest of the people watching, or they were supposed to watch a movie and.
Nice. We were just watching Heat, and then I was like, okay, at 7:00, Remy's on. I'm gonna go join Remy, and at 7:00 when we have the boys, we're like, usually it's movie time. So tonight we started watching Vikings again for like, I want to say the third time. So the boys are watching Vikings, and I got to join you guys. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's Friday night is movie night for a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah.
Decompress from the week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I haven't, we're watching a movie. So I haven't watched Vikings yet, and my cousin actually told me about it the other day. I know I have to start, and Marilyn told me about another one too that I have to start. I guess it would have been a good time this week.
Vikings,
yeah.
But there's one I watched. I think it was on Netflix. I'm not sure which thing it was on, but it was called Norseman, and it was like a comedy.
Yes, I highly recommend Norseman. If you have even watched Vikings or interested in Vikings or anything like that, watch The Norseman. And I highly recommend you watch season 3 first, and then 1, and then 2. But it is awesome. It's like,
start with season 3.
A whole parody on everything that is Vikings.
Yeah.
We started watching Vikings when we lived in town, and then we moved out here and we couldn't get it anymore.
Oh.
So now that we just got better internet in August, and to the I was so tired of hearing, Mom, we can't watch Netflix. Mom, we can't watch this. I was so tired of hearing that. We started watching The Witcher.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Henry, I can't believe that's Henry Cavill. I'm like, that's Henry Cavill, like Superman. Like, oh my God, it's really
I
good.
didn't realize it at first. And then
I didn't either.
Like afterwards, I was like, oh man, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Apparently,
I used to have a thing for Jason Momoa. Not anymore. I like Henry Cavill.
Apparently, he's supposed to do a remake of Highlander. So
Really?
I'm
I
interested in
love-
seeing that.
We love those movies. Those are one of the few I
know.
will watch every time, like again and again.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hold on. A pet peeve of mine is anyone who starts talking about Highland cows or Scottish Highlands and says the Highlanders. No, Highlanders are the guys with the swords up in, I'm like, it's not the cows, it's the guys with the swords. So swords and
And there can
kilts.
be only one.
Yeah. Whereas the Highlands, there can be a whole bunch.
Right.
Yeah, we used to watch the
I think
television
I might
show
do a
too.
video on that.
Loved it.
Cool.
My sister-in-law has Highland cows, and they've reproduced quite a bit. I mean, they have like 4 or 5, if not more, calves in their herd a year, and they don't care what time of year it is either.
They don't care. No,
Nope.
they're all good. Yeah. Exactly.
I just love them. They're so shaggy. They look like
Oh,
they need
yeah.
haircuts, like I just they're
Exactly.
sweet.
Yeah. It's so funny because I forget what it's called in English, but the hair that hangs down over their eyes. And Bridget always calls it their toupet.
It's like their mane, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
it's like, their bangs or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Cool. Hi, Mama Homemade. Hi, Josh. So I got space for one more up here. If any one of you want to join.
Now, Darren, do you let the horns grow on yours?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
'Cause
touch
they,
the horns at all.
They started getting theirs cut. They had one that it could turn its head just a little bit and scratch its butt. It was crazy big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't touch the horns because basically that's what Scottish Highlands are all about is the
Mhm.
horns,
Yeah.
horns and hair. So we don't touch the horns at all. And it's amazing how well they know exactly where the end of that horn is. Like they can pick an itch out of their back or, scratch wherever they want on their body. They can grab the fence with the horn and move the fence. They can touch you with it and move you. It's like, yeah, they know where those horns are at all times.
Don't want to put tennis ball on them.
Yeah. Yeah. We might have to on Snow White, but she's not going to be with us for much longer. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Hey, a lot of new people today. Nice.
Hey.
And by the way, GYB Gaming is my son, so if you see
Nice.
him spamming, don't mind. He's
So I
8.
have to keep it PG-13.
Forget the like button. That's right. Thank you for reminding us, Tihan.
I try to hit it before you even start, so I don't forget.
Alistair says, hey, my dad's rich. What are you lot talking about right now? We're talking about how we want your dad to adopt us all.
Does
Yeah.
your dad like Highland cows at all?
Cool. Yeah. So you guys have any plans for the upcoming week?
Yeah.
Got to make some more videos. Hopefully the snow's not going to melt too much because we know it's going to get colder and snow again. So I don't want too much ice. I hate the ice.
I hate the ice too. I'd rather have
Yeah.
the snow anytime.
Exactly. I used to hate growing up in Ontario when I was older, where it was like it was always cold at the start of the winter and there was no snow. So everything was frozen, but there was no snow. So you couldn't snowshoe, you couldn't snowmobile, you couldn't ski.
It was
It's
just cold.
It's just cold and miserable and everything's frozen and you couldn't enjoy it. Whereas here it's like 5 feet of snow. Have fun.
Yeah. And even with snowshoes, it's not safe anymore.
Oh my God, we go.
I saw your video, Ram.
Oh,
We went snowshoeing the other day, and I'm dropping down 3 feet into the snow, even with the snowshoes. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's bad. And yeah, yesterday I was just on my property, going around the property to see if there was any animal. Well, I saw some animal tracks, and I wanted to see what it was. And in order to have a better idea of what it was, I needed to see where it came from. So I was walking towards the tracks. Oh, we lost someone. Lynn's gone. He might come back. And yeah, so
There
I
can
stepped
be only
on
one.
a spruce, and I just went down, boom. And my son was cutting trees last year with a machete, and he left them like, those ticks sticking out. And I was like that close from getting really, really hurt.
Oh, no fun getting impaled.
Nope.
We had the same sort of thing where we went snowshoeing in the back forest, and there's the little pine trees coming up, but they're all buried. So you start walking with your snowshoes and you're doing okay, and then you catch one that's under the snow, and you just go boom, and you're like,
Yeah, and it goes deep.
Yeah, and you try and lift yourself up, and you can't because you're pushing down on the snow, but your hands are going in, and it's just
and you got snowshoes in your feet, so even if you try to lift your feet up,
it's crazy. Yeah,
bringing the whole snow with you.
Yeah.
Or if you accidentally step on the front of one snowshoe with the other snowshoe, it kind of throws you down.
That's when you need those like emergency medical bracelets. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right.
Exactly.
Anyone wants to come up, have a chat, you're more than welcome to. I'm gonna put the link again. Yeah, it's crazy. You just go for a walk with shoes, and you go like you say, you go deep.
Yeah, and the worst is I'm so out of shape too. So trying to walk, and I'm like,
We've been wanting to try snowshoeing for a while, but we never have enough snow. And then this winter we get enough, and we didn't buy any. But we just found out the base Recplex rents them for $10 for a weekend.
Nice.
I'm like, I wish I'd known that a few weeks ago. But yeah, we'd like to try it.
They rent a bunch of stuff there that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here the wind packs the snow very well. So
nice.
Now I can do a stair in the snow and walk on it.
That helps.
Yeah.
Hi, Hickory Crop Farm and Higgy Homestead. Are any of you chicken farmers? I'm pretty sure we all have chickens.
Nope. No chicken.
Yep.
You don't have any chickens yet?
Damn
Not
chickens.
I think I might be a pimp. I have 24 hens that lay 24/7.
24/7.
I'm doing a video this week on chicken math.
I just have to go for a second. I'll come back.
Yeah.
What? We're in charge. He's
gone.
Yeah,
you're in charge.
Party.
You're in charge now.
Well,
yeah. All right. So go for it.
I'm thinking some of the comments here, I wonder if it might be some of the kids there that are over for the movie there at Rems.
Oh, yeah?
I think you might be going in.
He might be
Having to
smacking some kids upside the head.
Yeah.
What kind of movie are you kids watching? Damn kids. Yeah.
No, you can't have too many chickens. I think it's impossible.
Well, the problem with chickens is the chicken math is that, you have math formulas that work in regular math, but chicken math is totally different. There's like hidden formulas within the formulas. So like, well, one rooster plus 4 hens equals 16 chickens. Like, how does that work?
Oh, we don't have a rooster. No roosters here.
Okay.
You want one?
Like rabbit met.
Yeah.
I've got
I don't think
3.
our neighbors would be happy if we had one.
Our neighbors have sled dogs that are howling all the time. So we're like, if we've got chickens cockadoodle doing and cows mooing.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think
all
they
good.
care because they've got a beagle who howls
Oh
nonstop.
yeah,
Non-stop.
yeah. We got a
Our
basset
dog goes
hound.
out and he howls. Yeah, I know. I love your basset hound.
But he only howls when one of us leaves for the day. So,
Yeah.
yeah. We're so used to working from home. It's brutal.
Yeah, that's what we were saying about our dog when everybody was home. I said, my gosh, what's he going to do when everyone has to
I
leave
know.
again? Like, he's not going to like this. And then I end up not going back to work outside the home anyway. So
No.
I don't think he could take it.
Thankfully, my work's dog friendly. And, once we all get back to normal, I only have to go back to work twice a week, if that. So I can take him with me to the office anyway. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, my chickens. How do you pronounce that? Higgy Homestead? Hig Homestead?
Hoogie.
Hoogie.
Hoogie. Okay.
Hoogie.
My chickens stopped laying altogether for the first time this year, and I think it was a mixture of I had changed feed, and then I didn't have a light on them at all, and I went back to the feed I was on before, and Hooga, okay,
Hooga.
and I went back to the feed that I was on before, and I put my light on that just comes on automatically. It's a solar light that comes on automatically for however many hours you set it for, and they started I've got eggs up the yin yang here. I need to start.
It happens. We were like, when this whole thing started, we started building up our chicken flock. We were like, oh, we can sell some eggs. This will be awesome. And then like all of our neighbors started getting chickens. Then no one wanted to buy chicken eggs. It's like, oh. And then we had an abundance of chickens. And now everyone got rid of their chickens because they didn't want to keep the chickens. So now we got to build our chickens back up.
Yeah.
Are you selling fertilized eggs by mail?
I can't fertilize anything anymore.
Oh.
Oh, you mean the chickens?
Yeah. Darren.
I am drinking scotch. I have some Lagavulin. But yeah, we've got 2 roosters that are fertilizing stuff right now. Yeah.
But are you sending them by mail, if we ask?
Hi, Robert.
Yeah, you can take some back with you when you come visit.
We'll not be ready for that.
Oh, yeah, you will. It'll be all good.
No.
Oh, yeah, we'll send you with like a care package. It'll be like...
Hi, Tammy.
Yeah,
we have 4 more chickens coming, but we're getting 16-week chickens this time because the chicks, it's just too hard. It's too much. They're in the house because the garage is still too cold, and then we can finally move them to the garage. And then I said, enough of this. So we're getting 4 that are going to be 16 weeks. So that will make us 8. And our chickens laid all winter. We don't have a light or anything in the coop, but they were this year's chickens, or I guess last year's chickens. So they didn't know any better, right? So
yeah, our Chanticleers, I think we have 6 hens in total, if I remember correctly. And I think we were getting an average of, I want to say 3 eggs a day during the winter. So we're still pretty good.
Mary Lynn, there's your problem solved right there.
I was going to say, yep.
You want to trade you for...
We just can't. We don't have the place.
Oh.
What?
Well, when you get the place, the long keeper tomato plants, that would be a trade and a half right there.
Yeah,
Hey,
53 chickens. That's a lot of chickens.
On the shelves.
When we head to Ontario for the homestead thing, I'm taking the truck. So whatever you guys want to bring back, and I can always stick the trailer on the truck too. So
That's dangerous.
No, we're not built back. I take the ferry on foot.
Well,
Yeah, that's your issue.
If gas stays high, we're coming in my Spark. We won't be bringing the Jeep.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, we might have to ride the bicycle to the homestead.
My
Remy
husband
was
just said the
telling me-
good thing about taking the Spark, you won't be able to bring anything back, so you have no ideas.
I have to go to work Monday for the first time in like 2 years. And I'm like, I can't afford to go to work. Have you seen the gas
Oh.
prices?
Right?
What's it like there?
I think we're almost at like $2 a liter,
Wow.
which I don't know what it converts to in US. I know someone's pretty good with math, but I'm not.
$2 because my cousin's $2 out in BC. It's almost $10 a gallon.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right now, I'm paying. I paid $4.07 today. I think it was
oh,
a gallon. So it's not a liter, but
okay.
it's crazy.
I
Thank
can't
goodness
get
we stopped
12
that.
liter.
I
I
think
can't
that's
get
why
anything
I
else.
think that's why I'm so good at chicken math is because I'm not good at math. So it's like chicken math is like
Yeah. I just asked my husband to convert it because I don't know what that is in a gallon. And I'm from the States originally, so I know gallons. I don't know liters, but
Right.
nice.
it's $1.30 roughly, he said, if we converted it to a liter. So
Okay.
that's still high for you guys. I mean, like my parents are in Florida and they're paying, I think mom said they went today, it went up 20 cents a gallon. I think she said it was $3.40 a gallon, which is high for them. Like
Which
that's
is crazy
quite
because
high.
like both US and Canada can be self-sufficient.
We
Yep.
were for many years, at least 4. We were energy self-sufficient. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
If he would just get rid of the carbon tax, at least temporary for a while, it would bring it down some. If he
Yeah.
would just do that.
Don't get me started on the politics. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a dangerous area for me too.
Just
Yeah,
reading
okay,
your
can we change the subject for now?
Yeah.
let's go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
So about those
Sorry.
chickens.
Remy's got his finger on the button saying, hey,
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like, all right, who's about to leave my live stream?
No, but Remy said that they're starting to back off on some of the restrictions crossing the border.
Okay. What? No.
Yes.
Not even.
I hope so. I just bought my ticket for Florida
Do we
next
have to
month
go there
surprise
too?
my
'Cause
mom.
I'm like-
Well, I might be able to come to the homesteading conference.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Because I
That'd be
was
nice.
worried about crossing the. I don't know. I don't have. New York has a license that doesn't
put your head food
equate
down. there.
federally.
We're like the
Oh.
only
Yeah,
country
right now
where
you
you need a
have to-
passport
yeah.
to get on an airplane to fly within the country.
Yep. Right now, you have to have a PCR test. You can get a PCR test. You don't have to have the molecular one. Right now, I'm hoping a month from now that's even going to be gone because
Yeah.
yeah, I finally bought my ticket. My mom turns 70 next month, so I'm flying down to surprise her. She doesn't know I'm
Nice.
coming. So yeah, so I told my dad tonight. I said I'm doing it. He goes, okay, I'm planning something for her. So God only knows what he's planning.
So we
But
hope
Yes.
don't
Hickorycroft.
look at
Thank
here.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I
it seems
like
like
that
everything's is going up.
The
Grand
fact
Final,
for me that this government is green, but we still tax seeds and live plants. Why?
Well, yeah, you.
because
Well,
we're the
because-
land of tax.
Well, I know that, but come on. Like they keep talking about let's green things up and taxes for evil things. So let's,
Oh, geez.
so income
yeah.
taxes, what? And we're going to tax seeds and plants that we need to buy to green the planet up.
Planet.
Yeah, like, it's.
Hmm.
I
My
mean,
husband's
I-
biggest pet peeve is when other people say, "Oh, but you have free health care in Canada." It's not free.
Don't even
No.
start with me on the free
We
health
pay
care.
for it.
I spent 7 hours in our healthcare system with my grandson to get freaking stitches in his forehead. 7 hours before they saw him to give him stitches. And I'm like, that is why we need dual like private and public, because at that time I would have gladly paid whatever it would have cost to take my grandson immediately to get stitches and then take him home.
Yeah.
And then
No, you're
someone
right.
who needed the public healthcare system to get better treatment would have, faster service that way. So don't.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
we can go there and-
bring it. Bring it.
All right.
Yeah, seriously.
But
So about
I will
those
say
food forests.
on Tuesday, I am going for my yearly cancer checkup. So good thoughts would be appreciated. I'm not worried. I'm not. I know I'm okay, but
Good.
It's gonna
I
be
just
all right.
get anxiety whenever I think about having to go until he says, yep, everything's okay. So I know everything is, but yeah, it's
Good.
stressful every year.
Yeah.
Wow, 2.5 times more for taxes.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grain's going up too. Yeah, we went and bought extra chicken feed just in case. We've got a little cushion for a little bit, but
It's crazy.
Yeah, we could talk for so long about all that subject. I mean, when you think about it, just the fact that I'm not even allowed to raise my own chickens in my yard, it doesn't make sense.
That's insane.
I
To
mean,
me,
it's crazy.
that is like insane.
coming
they're
back to it,
not
this
a
doesn't make
nuisance. Like, and they give you food.
Yeah.
Like, sure, if you're in a high-rise apartment in downtown
Yeah.
Toronto with 400 other people,
Yeah.
okay, I could see some restrictions on having some chickens in your apartment or on the balcony, but like
That he's right.
otherwise,
I wonder if they'd let you have a dog kennel with 30, 40 dogs on your land.
I wonder. I'm not sure. I think you have to register the dog, so at some point they might just say, well, that's too much.
Oh,
I was just telling that to my girlfriend because when I was checking out the tracks, it turns out that I'm pretty sure that they're dog tracks. And I mean, my dog doesn't leave that big tracks. So it's from one of the neighbor's dog. But they'll come and complain about my chicken that they don't see. They can't smell them from the distance their houses are from. They don't hear them because I don't have a rooster right now. But they'll come and complain about that. But then I have I don't know how many dogs coming on my property, destroying my flowers, destroying my garden, and I can't do anything about that because if I say something, I'm the bad guy. I mean, fine, you want to have a dog, fine. I have nothing against dogs, but keep them on your property.
yeah.
You know?
I want to address Hickory Croft's one comment there. I said the worst part is this is all stuff that we can't really do anything about per se. I think the big issue is people were like, the government needs to regulate that. The government needs to do something about that. The government needs to no, stop. Please stop asking the government to do something about that. That is the reason why we're in the condition that we're in, is because everybody keeps asking the government to do something about their neighbor or do something about this guy or do something about this. Stop asking the government to get involved in that.
If you got a problem with your neighbor, put on your big girl panties and go over there and say, hey,
it's crazy
problem.
how many times I hear someone say, and it's nothing big, like it's like, oh, the government should ban that, or the government should, make a regulation against that, or if people were
you get along great with my
banned from
husband
doing that, it'd be like, okay, wait, because what you're asking for is exactly the opposite of what you want. So stop asking the government involved, because it's not going to turn out the way you want it to.
A good example is when all those people got stuck on that highway in the States here back in January. Was that in Washington or something? I can't remember. And they were all complaining the next day or so about how nobody came and helped us. There's no one to help us. And like my father said, you knew this storm was coming. It was announced for 3 days. You still chose to go out on the highway with no water, no blanket. Like you weren't. I said, Dad, because there's so many generations. They're so used to being taken care of. They don't know how to take care of themselves anymore.
You should have gone and listened
as
to
soon as
the video.
As soon as you ask the government to help you on something like that, suddenly what's going to happen is you're going to get increased taxes because they need more equipment to look after you. You're going to get increased regulations on when you can and can't drive. You're going to get increased supervision on when you're allowed to go out and about and do some out and about. So it's like
American here.
it's like every time you ask the government to regulate something to make it better, it only makes it worse for everybody.
You lose freedoms, and once you lose freedoms, Ronald Reagan, I think it was, he said the scariest words to the average citizen is "I'm from the government
and I'm here to help." Yeah.
And you know what? We've lost our ability. We've given our kids. I had somebody come up and they asked me. They said, "Do you think they should be teaching such and such in school, or in public schools?" I said, "Dude, I don't think there should be public schools. Raise your own kids."
I know if I had to do it all again, I think I would homeschool my kids. I think I would have.
It's funny because like public school is only 100 years old, if that.
Yeah. And the lottery was supposed to pay for it. And here in New York, the lottery was supposed to pay for school and, to help.
Income tax was only supposed to pay for World War II.
Yeah. Oh, once you give it, you ain't getting it back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steph, I don't understand what you're saying. My English is bad.
Is it Steph or Chris that's
Well, Steph is writing
Chris is jumping at
talking to each other on there.
I guarantee you Chris is in the background going, doom, impending doom.
Couple days, Remy's gonna get a
Strike.
email from YouTube that no more live streams.
No, we're pretty good. I think we've
Yeah.
not really touched on any of the taboo
If we stay
subjects.
within the parameters, we should be all right.
Yeah.
The island in the middle of nowhere looks better and better some days.
Oh, exactly, eh?
Hi,
The problem
Chuck and Linda.
the problem I've realized with like an island in the middle of nowhere is talking to homesteaders across Canada, the US, down south in Mexico, Australia, is that there is no ideal growing condition.
Right.
So, up here in Canada, where, some of us have to deal with the deep snow and all that, we're like, oh, the season's too short. We need longer season. And then you go down south and they're like, oh, we've got longer season, but the summer's too hot. And then you go with others and it's like, yeah, we've got a long season and it's great, but there's no water. So it's like everyone has a situation that they have to deal with for a growing season. I don't think I've talked to anyone where they're like, yay, I'm happy and go lucky and everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are all growing something that don't grow here normally. So
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that's
never
the thing.
perfect.
I think if we did try to grow just what naturally grew in our areas, well, number one, I think we'd either starve or have a real boring dinner plate.
I don't think so.
I agree.
No?
I agree that we'd have a boring dinner plate, but I don't think we'd starve. So I think, I'd love to get into this conversation like really deep and just go, but it's like, for me, we've got into this globalization and everyone's talking about going green and that sort of stuff. And we're like, okay, well, the first thing with going green is we need to stop all these ships going across all the oceans. We need to stop all this traffic going globally. We need to start growing locally and start doing things locally and look after one another. So, for me up here in northern Quebec, I'm like, okay, I love pineapples. I love eating pineapples and all that, but it's not something I can grow here. So, but I have access to wild blueberries. I have access to wild blackberries. I can grow strawberries. I can grow raspberries. I can grow apples. So there's so many things like this where I can grow it locally. Sure, my diet will not be as, varied and won't be as exotic as eating pineapples and avocados and that sort of stuff, but I will still have a great diet and a great variety just eating locally. So
Right.
Well, it's like I keep saying, if you go 200 years ago, our ancestors living here did not travel to Florida to get some orange and
Right.
avocados. I mean, they would eat whatever they had here. They would forage, grow their garden, and plant their own trees, and that's the way they survived. They would hunt.
I think there was some
Great
trade
family.
that was going around,
Yeah.
in ancient times. But I mean, I think even like the Romans, the Vikings, Persians, Egyptians, they enjoyed other fruits and vegetables and food from other lands, but it was like you had to travel to those lands to enjoy it. It's not like you could bring it back and,
Well,
There
I
was far less diversity on a daily diet.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Chris, I
live-
know you're chomping at the bit there. What do you want to say?
I don't know. It's just we finished up eating, so it's an interesting conversation that's going on. So I figured, why not get
was
it
on
on
here
here?
a few minutes ago.
I'm waiting for the impending doom.
I lived
Gotta
in
leave with
the
that.
foothills of the Adirondack Mountains for most of my life, and it wasn't until I was an adult that I found out that Adirondack is Indian. Literally, it's a derogatory term for the Indians that lived in those mountains.
Really?
It means
Oh, I
bark
didn't know
eater.
that.
It
Huh.
means bark eater. Because
Oh,
in the winter,
wow.
they said that's all there is to eat in the winter is bark.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
No.
an interesting point too, though, because depending on where you lived in the world and the time frame, not everything tasted great, but it kept you alive.
Right.
True.
Like you
Yeah.
can eat balsam fir.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exactly taste amazing, but you can eat it. I know we've tried the tea you make out of white cedar boughs in the winter, and I actually didn't mind it. Stephanie didn't like it, but it's like when you talk about things like scurvy, when you don't have access to the fresh greens and that in the middle of
Right.
winter. Basically now, there's none of that till
Right.
like May. So that's your alternative. But it didn't matter if it tasted good; it was edible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I think goes into when you can thrive versus survive. If you can
Right.
have things that taste good and are still good quality food versus just having the things that you absolutely need to survive, which also goes into that question of how much is enough, because I don't know, we go around and around and around in circles on that one.
But again, we're at a point now where we can actually preserve that stuff for longer periods of time versus, importing it or shipping it halfway around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like blueberries,
Now I feel guilty about those strawberries I bought from Costco today.
Oh, that's all right. We've got canned
They only
pineapples
came
in
from
the basement.
Florida, so
You will taste nothing.
That's okay. Just
actually they're
promise
good.
to make
They're
some
really good
jam
because
and can it.
it's yeah. Well, it's strawberry season. They actually came from Plant City, which is 20 minutes from where my parents live.
I was born in
So-
Plant City, Florida.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. No, yeah, my parents live just like 20 minutes from there. They go to the big strawberry festival every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
they're
think
they're organic too, but yeah.
I think that's a good point too. In the modern context of things, there isn't necessarily, and I think this goes back to what you're saying, Darren, about I'm going to just pick on the Roman Empire for a moment. They imported stuff. There's no question that they did that from all over, whether it was spices or exotic animals or you name it.
But
there's nothing
again,
necessary.
them importing stuff versus us importing stuff now is totally different in the context of being green.
Right.
Oh no, I definitely agree. But I think there's a potential argument. It's not necessarily inherently bad to partake in, strawberries once in a while. I think the hard part is when it's a staple.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it's not a staple. I only got them because they were a good deal. And our daughter's like, Mom, we haven't had strawberries for a while. I'm like, well, I'll see how much they are because I won't pay, like, no matter what, I won't buy them. Like, I'm not like that. And it was a good deal and they were organic. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're organic, but that will probably be the last ones until we start getting some here.
Yeah.
So, well, we have frozen. I shouldn't say that. I got a lot of frozen. So from last year, but I just see, she did blueberry pie. I did apple pie filling yesterday. I cleaned out 12 bags of apples out of my freezer.
Oh,
Wow.
That time of year.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I got to make room.
But like you said, the Romans and everyone imported and were actually, trading and had commerce on almost a global level, I would say.
But even less scale than that. I got to pick my words kind of carefully here. Where the trade was more foot traffic, let's put it that way. You had to physically walk from point A to point B, or you couldn't travel as far. Let's put it that way.
You couldn't
still had,
travel
like in North America,
as fast.
As fast, yes, good point. But in North America, like the point about eating what's local. What is it? I think it's in like the boreal forest is one of the hardest places, unless you're going to eat a substantial amount of animal matter in the winter months. There isn't a lot to eat if you can't store it. But even some of the crops, like some of the most familiar crops to us now, are endemic to either North or South America. Right? They didn't sweep Europe and Asia until relatively late. Things like the common bean and tomatoes and turkeys, Muscovy ducks, like those things were taken places.
Cows, melons, you name it.
Well, yeah, like, and then they swept through those places when they encountered, or when they got them for the first time and realized, hey, this is easy to grow, but it wasn't endemic. But even within North America, like those common beans, they're not necessarily, like, look at all the different heritage common bean varieties. Like we're going to grow the Cherokee Trail of Tears, which is kind of a famous one. They're all the same species, but they're not native to all of North America, but they were traded like mad. And that's where they became their own little endemic populations.
Yeah.
Yeah, spring is coming. I can't wait.
we will Homestead Aquarius.
It's going to be 50
It's going to
degrees.
be 12 degrees here Sunday. 12 degrees, which is
Yeah,
about
we're
50
supposed to have
degrees.
nice weather this weekend.
Sunday is supposed to be in the 50s here, so maybe I'll
And then
finally get some
Tuesday
Yeah, I
we
just
go
gotta
below
say.
zero again.
Let's go back down.
Yeah.
Hey, Annie.
It's only
Oh,
March
hi.
here in
Annie.
Quebec. We've got another 2-3 months before we can.
Hi, little house in the big woods. Yeah, good 2-3 months for sure. I mean, last frost date
1.5,
here is
yeah.
May 28. I think.
Yeah,
Ours is May. Ours is saying May 15th. The Farmer's
Ours is
Almanac.
mid-June.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Mid-June.
mid-June for us.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
be
wow.
sure.
You guys are zone 3?
3-4, depending on
3,
which
4.
map you look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Those
We
maps are
usually-
really, really fascinating to look at if you have older copies of them. They've changed.
Yeah.
No question about
Yeah.
it. They've definitely.
I'm not going to complain about 5B anymore. I'm not going to complain
No,
about
that's-
5B anymore.
I think that's where I'm at is 5A or B, and
Probably, yeah.
It's neat because we are technically zone 4 based on our snow load. So if you look at other areas around us, they're zone 3 because they might not get as much snow. So it's like, okay, you're zone 4 because you get this much snow, which protects your plants that much more. It's like, ooh, that's neat.
Hi, Aldan. Yeah, I remember everyone, well, at work and all the family members keep telling me that usually you should wait at least until after June 7th before we plant our stuff around here. And there were even some people talking about full moon. As soon as full moon is gone,
Yeah.
then you're safe. But lately, in the last 3-4 years, we've had springs coming a little bit early. And I took a chance by putting my stuff out a little bit early, and it worked. I was lucky enough that it worked for most of my stuff. I mean, tomatoes is not as abundant as I would like, and I didn't really get much peppers last year. But I'm gonna have a greenhouse for this year and try it again a couple of weeks. But when I look at the map there that you're talking about, Chris, it says on May 28th it should be my last frost date. So it does change, and I'm not just crazy. It does really change.
Oh no, it absolutely does. Where we live, this is just me being nerdy about it, but because we're at the east end of Lake Ontario where it meets the St. Lawrence, you get the lake effect, right? So it kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, if here's the river, you get like these bands that go out from it, and eventually you get far enough inland that it doesn't affect it. But you can almost, in the shoulder seasons, you can almost drive around and see where those divides are. Like not down to the exact, but you can see the
It's
transition.
true, though.
You go from zone to zone, and it's like, okay, now, this 5 kilometer stretch, I went from this zone to now I'm in the next one.
Yeah.
And
When Bridget
it
and I
makes
were
it change.
dating, we were driving each back from Ontario to Quebec. Basically, it was every other weekend. So I would go 2 weeks, and then she would go the next 2 weeks, and we'd visit each other. But going from the spring to summer to fall to winter to driving that 6 hours difference from southern Ontario to northern Quebec, you can see those rings happen as you're driving. It's crazy.
Could you imagine back when they first started making those maps, what it took to figure all that out?
Oh yeah.
I mean, now we got satellites and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched. What was it we watched? It was last night, the night before. Bridget and I sat down and watched Icebound, or Against the Ice. The Norwegian or Danish guys surveying Greenland back in 1904, I want to say. And, it's crazy kind of doing that map reading with dog sled. And, they're like, oh, yeah, so our boat's frozen in the ice in July. We're going to head out, do some map stuff, and we'll be back in September. We'll see you later. No, thanks.
And now people don't even leave an office, and they do that mapping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Eh? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Somebody was just mentioning about the migrating birds. They've been coming
Yeah.
back here, and we actually had 14 robins in our backyard yesterday.
And where are
We
you?
had 4 a couple of days ago, and then all of a sudden we had 14 yesterday. Like they tripled. It's like, what the heck?
Robins are a deceiving one because they don't always leave.
Yes, yeah, we found that out a couple years ago. Yep.
And sometimes they can stay in really big numbers. It has more to do with they require open water because they basically have to take a daily bath. So they have to have open water somewhere.
That's where they've been, in the water. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, we actually have eastern bluebirds are the same way. They're not as cold hardy, but like we have 7 that have been around all winter.
That's wild.
I barely see them in the summer.
Well, the birds are interesting to watch because exactly like we were talking about with the climate, like your growing zone. Sorry, and like you said, Remy, how you put your tomatoes out earlier and it was like a gamble. You've got some species of birds that take those gambles. I'm going to say it as a generalization. They tend to be the real successful ones. And then you have the species that are very stuck in patterns that they kind of, they arrive at the same dates all the time. They're usually
not adaptable, which sometimes hurts them.
Well, I don't know if it's adaptable or they just have a different strategy.
No.
To put it bluntly. But it gets super complicated, but it's fun to watch.
I don't understand the hummingbirds.
I know.
They're coming way too early for the season.
Hummingbirds are crazy. I
Well,
can't
we
believe
got them
we have
early last
hummingbirds
year.
up here where we are.
When they come early, though, they're actually, because they eat a lot of nectar, but they do eat a lot of insects.
Yeah.
So they're often timed, like the first ones, at least in Ontario, tend to appear. This is a generalization. There's around the Great Lakes, there's little midges. They're not black flies, they're not biting flies, but there's a bunch of different, there's like thousands of different species, but they do tend to come at the same time as those emergences.
Okay.
And that's where the species that are less adaptable to the slight change have the problem, because they're timing it. But if the bugs emerge a week early or a week late, then that's causes a problem.
I guarantee it's always better to come at the same time than coming early.
Well, there's an interesting thing, and I'm
gonna get a bottle of water.
A long time, but there's an interesting thing with swallows with some really long-term data. They've actually found, even though the adults survive, if they come back, oh wait, you were making a joke, weren't you?
That's why you have.
I was waiting for that.
Delayed reaction. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Wow. I eventually got it. Is that part of my
Yep. You were going into it, and then suddenly, it was like a little,
I was judging everybody else's reaction. It was like I missed something there.
Wait, what? What?
Oh, that's funny.
We had a red-tailed hawk in our backyard last Saturday, and
Nice.
we've seen him flying around a lot, and our chickens are protected. Like, we've got like army netting and like chicken wire all over them. Nothing's getting in there. And we've seen him a lot, and he was right literally here in the backyard. And I yelled to my husband, I said, I think he's got something. Do you think he got one of the rabbits? And he's like, geez, it seems awful dark for that. And we go out on the back step. He still didn't move. I didn't really want to bother him because I wanted to make sure he could eat. So finally he was done and he went off, and my husband went down. He captured one of the nuthatches I feed at my bird feeders.
Yeah.
I'm like, why couldn't you go after the darn starlings? Those things are a pain in the ass.
Exactly, eh? Yeah.
I felt terrible. But I mean, he's got to eat too, right? Like, he's got to eat too. So
yeah,
It's
the
so
nuthatches
funny.
are already in couple here. So
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was in Richmond Hill, I used to hear great horned owls all the time. They were on the farm a lot when I was there. It's so awesome. Such an amazing
is.
bird.
Yeah.
And when I moved up here to Quebec, never heard them at all. And then one night we were out and the cows were mooing and we went on a walk and we had the flashlight out and there's all these like little eyes coming up the pathway to us. And finally I hit them with the flashlight and it was like all these little baby skunks. And I was like, oh. No. So we turned around, went the other way, grabbed the hound dog, took him back in the house. And I think it was like the next night or the night after, again, we heard great horned owl. Hoo hoo hoo. It's like, oh yeah, there's skunks around. He's on the prowl. I'm like, yeah, go get him.
Yep.
They're actually big,
Yes,
big
please,
skunkies.
please.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they can't smell them, so it doesn't.
We have a pair every spring. You'll hear them like the male calling to the female around April and May. We'll hear them. We've never seen them, but we'll hear them when we go to bed. They must be like in the tree right by our bedroom window. And I just love laying there, listening to them, calling back to one another. It's amazing.
It's so awesome
to hear them.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got a big owl. I've never seen it, but I hear it a lot. But my wife says that she saw it. It came down, and she said that the wingspan was like huge.
Wow.
It was a big owl. So I don't know what kind it was, but I hear it a lot, and that's when usually I close the chickens in at night.
The coolest thing with the owl is, like other birds, is you can tell exactly what they are by their sound.
Right.
So you listen close enough, you can identify what they are. That's so cool.
We have the snowy owls here too that come down in the winter. I've actually gotten quite a few pictures of them, and they're beautiful. Oh, they're gorgeous to watch them. And they go to the provincial park here a lot. People go and get pictures of them at the lighthouse, and they've been coming here for a few years now. So
nice.
There's owls are funny because there's a lot more of them than people think.
Yes.
But there's an interesting thing about them though, because my grandfather, when he was farming, this is going back to a previous part of the conversation before I came in, but there was no protection to them. So you could shoot them on sight. And it didn't matter what kind of owl it was, because great horned owls, they do eat poultry. They're plenty big enough to do it. Snowy owls will as well. Most of the other species aren't big enough to do it. So even barred owls that are they look like a big owl, there's nothing to them. They're tiny. They're all feathers. But like basically when he was farming, you could just shoot them if you wanted. And it's interesting because there's where there's a huge change in attitude towards it, right? And they kind of went, like in the case of great horned owls in particular, they went from being, I'm not going to say rare, but rare enough to now they're kind of everywhere, although they have big territories, so you don't see them very often.
Yeah.
They have territories that can be up to like 7 square kilometers for a pair.
It's like with bald eagles around here.
Yeah.
We started with up by Old Forge, New York. There was several mating pairs, and then now they're all along the Black River, and the DEC would take roadkill deer out on the ice for the eagles to eat. And then they started taking deer out, and on their way, they would find chicken carcasses and duck carcasses and all these tame animals that the eagles were scooping up, taking there to eat. But I know we have hawks here pretty bad, the red-tailed hawks. But every once in a while, I have to politely ask them to leave in 12 different languages. But
I love them too, but I don't want to see them around my chickens. Like,
That's funny. Rebel Canners mentions the sandhill cranes. every so often we'll get the blue herons flying over here. And it's like, ooh, those are so cool, eh?
Yeah.
The only kind of bird I've seen lately is the Bohemian waxwing.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you guys know about.
I haven't seen them at all.
I don't think they've come down this far yet this winter.
Okay. I don't know. I saw them. I was going to work the other day, and they were all in the hospital's parking lot. They were everywhere in the trees, and I was able to film a couple and take a picture of one close up.
I'm guessing there's probably some crabapple trees or something that brings it in. Yep.
That's exactly where they were.
That's weird, 'cause we have a crabapple tree on our property, and I've never seen them.
But they don't come down every winter. They do, like some birds migrate. And usually they call migration like they do the same thing every year, kind of regardless of what the weather's doing, etc. Then there's birds that they say they make eruptions, which is quite irregular. So it's usually food driven, and like the snowy owls do it. Some individuals migrate every year, but the vast majority of them are erupters. They don't all come down. Like, I think 2 or 3 years ago, there was a big eruption, which with the snowy owls, it had to do actually with an overabundance of lemmings, because when the lemmings on the tundra are basically pumping out young, the owls do the same thing. So they had an overabundant, like instead of some of the young owls dying, they all survived. So then when it came to winter, they dispersed like mad. Like they had them as far south as like Florida and the Caribbean and stuff, like just crazy how far they went.
Wow.
So that would be an eruption.
Annie, I'm trying to be good, but Chris just drops those sexual innuendos, and I can't leave it alone.
Look at her. I know.
Well, isn't it Bridget that said that the other day, that she was the angel that Darren's the devil?
I don't know.
Well, blue
I tell you
herons
what.
don't stay here in the winter. They would freeze in the water. So
I don't think I've ever seen a blue heron here in the winter either. We don't get as cold as you, so.
No, we don't see them here in the winter, but we
it's,
see them every so often in the spring,
Yeah.
summer, fall.
It's
We have
usually
swans that don't leave.
no, I don't have swans.
Yeah,
here.
there's a bunch of swans out in Presqu'île where they're
Yep.
like
Yep.
they're stocked there year round.
Yep.
Oh, the
And they're
swans
not
is
the native
actually-
swans.
Yeah. No,
No,
They're not the
you know,
native. Yeah. And they're pushing out the native swans. They're having a problem with them.
There's a
just
weird
don't go.
relationship with the different swan species, because there's the three of them. So the tundra swan is the northern nester that migrates through. The trumpeter swan is what was originally the native, which is really fascinating because you can look into legends or ledgers from the Hudson's Bay Company, and the amount of swan products that they exported is astronomical, and you never hear about
Oh
it.
wow.
Because there was a point even around the early 1900s, swans, because of the feathers and the leather and the lard that they made from
That
meat,
makes sense.
they were worth like about $2 a swan, which in 1900 that was a lot.
That'd be crazy, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they basically were eradicated from the eastern part of North America, and then they've come back with some help. But
No
at the same
wonder
time,
they're so mean.
Yeah.
Don't canoe or kayak near a swan. They'll take you out.
Especially with babies. Don't go near a
Yeah.
mama swan if she's got babies.
There was one, I want to say it was around Port Hope somewhere. There was a kayaker killed by a swan.
they're big birds.
Yeah.
That's
They
probably
are.
the ones. 'Cause they're
Got too
the-
close and attacked him, and he fell out of his kayak, and I guess just couldn't
Gee.
deal with the swan on top of him. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
They're a big bird too.
Yeah.
They
oh,
are.
yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
We watch them fly in because we have a pond right down here, and we have a couple that come every year, and we'll watch them fly in, and you'll hear them before you see them. And you'll look up, and the wingspan on them, and when they land, you're like, yeah, you're a little bit bigger than people realize.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the C-130 coming in.
Yeah. That was my husband's office for the last 20 years. But I'll tell you what we have around here that I hate, and we have a terrible problem with them, is snakes. And I know they're not going to hurt me. I know they're not poisonous. I don't care. I'm petrified of them. And our daughter is to the point when once May hits, she won't step outside
Oh,
because
wow.
she's terrified. Our record so far is 37 that my husband has. I finally asked him to stop relocating them and start doing something else with them.
I was
because
before you
he-
said snakes, I was going to
they're
say
horrible.
squirrels, but
Oh, they're horrible. And I know they're not, I'm petrified. I have been since I was little. I had a bad experience when I was little, and that's all it takes, right? And he was carrying one down to the backfield last summer, and he's like, well, I know why that one was so easy to catch. I said, what do you mean? Babies were spitting out of it as he was carrying it down
Oh.
back.
Oh wow.
Well, that must have been cool, though.
No.
I'm glad it's there, not here, but it's cool.
I hate them. And like in the garden season, my son, if my husband's not home, I make my son go out, make sure nothing's out there, and then I go out to my garden.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Snakes I can deal with. My thing is spiders, and this was just a big 20-acre woodlot, and we kind of carved a couple acres out of it for the house and stuff.
Listen to you guys, like snakes and
Spiders don't bother
spiders and
me.
all these little creepy crawlies. Like, come
I know
on,
they
like,
can't hurt me.
it's not like it's a polar bear or a Komodo dragon or something. Like,
Right.
seriously, come on,
I know they can't hurt me.
toughen
But
up a little bit, eh?
with my headlamp, when I look out in the leaf litter in the summer under the wood, I mean, you see all these little tiny reflections, hundreds and hundreds of them, and I'm like, what is that? There's no dew on the ground. I walk over there, and it's these little spiders. I'm like, my God, if they only tried to take us over, we would be through. I'm serious. There are thousands of them.
We are having a problem with, and we never did before, and my husband thinks it's because the snakes are probably keeping them under control. Voles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Animals.
And they don't have them in Maine. There's 2 states that don't have them, Florida and Maine. And I grew up in Maine, so I never. And we saw one this winter. I thought I saw them last summer, but they're bigger than a mouse, almost like the size of a hamster. And I think that's what got all my carrots last year, because every carrot we pulled out of the ground was already ate.
Dude, yeah. They're meadow
So
voles.
I don't know what to do to get rid of them. Keep the snakes.
yeah.
The right kind of snake, yes. Garter snakes won't eat them really, but the snakes you want are like the milk snakes.
That's what we have.
Milk snakes, yeah. Milk snakes are a good thing to have because
See,
I
you
know,
brought
but
it upon yourself, screwing with
They
nature.
scared the hell out of me.
well, they're interesting, right? Because milk snakes have a response to mimic a rattlesnake, and they actually do it really, really well. So, milk snakes have been, I'm going to say it this way, persecuted since Europeans came to North America because of that. And that's why they're called milk snakes, because they used to think that they went into the milk sheds and drank the milk or sucked it out of the cows. But what they were actually doing was going into the milk sheds to get the rodents. I think I missed.
And it's always me who finds them. I almost stepped on one, and my husband even said, geez, because our neighbor next door, they have pet snakes. And he said, God, you better call them, ask them if one of their snakes disappeared before I do something to the snake. And it wasn't one of theirs, because we had never seen this. Usually we just see the black snakes. I think they're garter. I don't know what they are. I don't like looking close enough at them. But they even come up on our front step because they love the sun. I open the door and there they are. I can't even walk out of my house. They're laying right there. And so my husband says to me last year, he goes, just stomp or whatever. So I stomp. I didn't know snakes could jump. The damn thing, and it didn't jump that way. It jumped this way. I screamed bloody murder. My neighbor heard. He calls, he says, Lynn, is everything okay over there? I'm like, there's like 5 snakes on the front step. The dog's gonna go out and I can't let him out. Our neighbor's petrified of them. He couldn't help me.
Remy,
Yeah, I didn't know
I had to
snakes
leave
could
that
jump.
feral
They jump.
beaver comment up there.
We should have that problem. We have garter snakes, ribbon snakes, brown snakes with orange bellies.
Oh, that's way too many snakes.
Yeah, you want me
Those
to
are,
go hunt?
those are the little northern red belly snakes. They're borderline cute because they don't get very big.
The thing
Yeah.
is, in
Oh, my
Ontario,
Lord.
there's only the one poisonous snake is the
I know.
Mississauga rattler.
Mississauga
Yes.
Rattler. And that's what we thought we had here last summer.
Technically 2, but the other one
There's 2?
yeah, the other one has a different kind of toxin though. But there's only one rattlesnake anymore.
Yeah.
In Ontario.
Oh,
But
great. Just great.
Snake traps. They eat the mosquitoes and stuff. and hopefully black flies.
Look, if they would just not come around when I'm around, they could live here, kill all the rodents they want. I'm happy with it. Just don't come out when I'm out. That's all I ask. And it's always me who finds them. It's always me. And the whole neighborhood knows.
Well, I think I'm going to cancel my trip to Ontario if you guys have some dangerous snakes. I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, you're coming to the part of Ontario that has the biggest snake in all of Canada. It's not poisonous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Remy, you're gonna have to watch out for the poisonous snakes and the feral beavers.
Those will get you in trouble.
Those will really get you in
Yes,
trouble.
my husband says that to me all the time. I seriously doubt. I don't think they're more afraid of me. There's no possible way. I am and I hate being scared of them. I do. I hate it. It's terrible. It's terrible. My daughter can't even, like, of a nature show and they sneak one in, she screams like it. She is petrified of them, and I'm sure she's picked that up from me over the years. So, and then my son, he's dying. He wants to have a pet snake. I said, "Where will your mother and sister live? Because we won't be living in this house." Hate them.
Lagavulin. Scotch.
I used to have a roommate that had a scorpion in the house.
Oh.
I wasn't so, let's just say that I didn't want to go in his room when he wasn't there.
Right.
It kept us away, I guess. Well, we had a bunk bed and we were sleeping in the same room, so it was kind of a big issue.
I'm just reading some of the comments.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh, Lord help me.
That'll definitely get you in trouble.
Gotta go into hell for that one, boy. Yes, you are.
Going to hell.
Oh.
All right, y'all just behave. You're worse than me. Seriously.
I know it. We're making Darren look nice and
I know, eh?
clean cut.
Usually
Have
I'm
a
the
long
bad
week.
one, the naughty one.
Oh.
So let's stay on that topic for fun and go explore a little bit more on if you guys go in the woods, what's the one thing that would scare you the most in your area besides snakes and spiders?
Oh.
Coyotes.
No.
We have them they live in our backyard under our
Yeah,
apple tree in
but-
the winter. I know. I mean,
unless they're like the mixed ones,
Starving.
they're like half coyote,
Yeah,
half
yeah.
wolf.
wolf. Yeah.
Whether in a pack, which they do now, those guys are like scary.
Yeah, that would make me nervous. I
don't
actually like
think-
listening to them, but
I don't think a coyote or a wolf in the United States anyway there's ever been a real of a healthy, not cornered animal attacking a human. I used to walk out of the woods after it got dark during hunting season, and you could hear them walking on either
Yeah.
side of you and stuff. And it was freaky. It was freaky, but
Yeah, up here in Canada, we have the ones that are like coyotes mixed with wolves and other stuff, dogs, feral dogs. But the coyotes, where they used to hunt alone, they've now learned, and they're actually hunting in packs now. Which
Yeah, that's a super complicated topic when they get looking at because they did some pretty extensive genetic studies to try to figure out what was going on, and it's like super convoluted because you're in a crossover zone where there was a void, right? Because they changed the name. The original was now I think they're calling it the Algonquin wolf. It used to be called the red wolf. Anyways, it's a different species than the gray wolf. The gray wolf or timber wolf is a bit further north.
yeah, it's
Well-
like here's the ones that are for Algonquin. Here's the ones that are outside Algonquin Park. Here's a
Well, and you can eradicate wolves because if you break down the pack structure, you can basically only the alphas have puppies. So if you break the pack structure down, they forget everything, and everybody just kind of. But coyotes are the other way around.
Great way to destroy the ecosystem as well.
Yeah, and that's
I know,
why.
and I know where my cousin lives out in BC, but this was because of humans. I know. I just read her thing. They're in BC. They had humans feeding the coyotes, and they attacked 3 children. That because they were in a big park where people take their kids, and the 3-year-old got attacked, and they were begging people, so they fenced it all off. People were climbing the fence and still throwing cat food and stuff to these coyotes. Well, the whatever they call them here, the conservation, we call them rangers. They were saying that the puppies have learned not to fear humans. Like they'd already passed the information on to the next, so they had to kill all of them.
Oh man!
They had to all because of human intervention.
It's seldom, no matter what it is, it's seldom the animal's fault.
Right.
Here, I'm going to try my French for a minute. But Ali Dan would be afraid of a creux de bois dans le bois.
What?
Creux de bois dans le bois.
A random Frenchman?
Yeah. Cougars are scary.
Oh,
Yeah.
Especially
I guess it depends on. I was going to say I probably would be more afraid of the 2-legged animal.
Exactly.
We have had
Yeah.
some strangers in our backyard. Like they picked all my apples off my apple tree a couple years ago.
two-legged.
Yeah, like I don't.
Those
Yeah, so yeah, the
two-legged
two-legged
creature
creature.
grabbing you and taking you home.
there's not a whole lot that I around here or that I can think of in the country that would really hurt you.
No. For us in our
Rabid
area,
raccoon might not be too fun, but
I'm thinking like black bear, but even black bear,
they had to
like
kill puppies. Yeah.
you know,
But you heard about the old lady.
I wouldn't be afraid to come face to face with one compared to like a polar bear where it's like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
I think for me, where we live, there really isn't a lot.
no, exactly.
I do agree,
like-
but the coyotes, when you get around urban centers
Mhm.
in the wrong situation, that's a little unnerving because I've been in those kind of situations before where they follow you around and stuff, and it's just like, because you know there's more than what you see. But the other one for me, and other people can probably have their own experience with this, is when you go areas that have them, a cow moose with a calf.
Oh,
That's something you want.
Oh yes.
That's not
they
something.
will, they will destroy you.
Yep.
It's not something you really think
they're
about when you
welcome
think
at
about dangerous animals, but
Yeah. Yeah, that
Remy,
is-
did you see that video of that guy in New Brunswick who was out with his sled dogs, and that moose attacked them and just and it attacked his dogs and it just trashed his sled, and he shot the thing like 3 or 4 times and it just kept coming. It was on the news about 3 weeks ago, and
No,
he had
I
2 of the dogs at the vet, and the thing went and he shot it. He said he knows he hit it several times. It was somewhere in New Brunswick.
I didn't see it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
after.
I think there's a
Curious.
statistic somewhere floating around that in North America, more people are injured by moose than they are by bears in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moose kill probably more people in Canada than anything else. And I could get into some politics here and say that great, yeah, not me getting into politics. But there have been more great white shark attacks in Canada than people injured with AR-15s.
Seriously?
Fact.
People actually go in the ocean in Canada.
What? I know. Who's
It's pretty
swimming in the
cold.
ocean here?
Fact. I will send you the facts if you can't do a Google search on that. But there have been more people injured and killed by sharks than AR-15s in Canada.
I mean, the gun, that doesn't surprise me but the great white shark, you just never hear about
No.
You know, very. I mean, they did have some in Nova Scotia last summer, but
Nova
it's rare.
Scotia, the St. Lawrence, and British Columbia. There have been attacks.
Mary Lynn, don't
Wow.
you swim in the St. Lawrence?
Don't worry, it's rare.
Yeah, well,
you'll be okay.
Yeah, it won't come from me.
No.
I think last year one bench near here, a small one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
There
died because they couldn't put it back early enough.
There was one also in the Baie des Chaleurs around here, I think, in the Acadian Peninsula. They put a tracker on him, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and he keeps coming back in the same area, so they know when he's around.
Okay.
But the one thing I'm afraid now, I only saw it last year. I didn't see it the years before, and now I kind of, will I go swim again? I saw a seal.
Some of those are angry little.
They have a good teeth, right?
Yeah.
Leopard seals can be vicious.
Yeah.
And
They're
they
cute,
can swim
but
very fast.
They're fast.
Yeah, I'm not sure anymore.
No, exactly. Eh?
I don't know the species it was, more probably a gray or common one, but it's big.
Yeah.
Big head.
Oh, some of those crazy. Like I had an acquaintance who actually has a scar on his neck. It's little now, but when he was younger, it was big. But he was swimming and he had like a necklace, and a muskie came across and grabbed the necklace, but it like kind of scraped his neck.
Oh wow!
And it's
That's
like
actually something that I don't snorkel or scuba dive as much as I used to, but in places that they are used to seeing people, like some of the bigger wrecks and stuff in the St. Lawrence, they're not a big deal. They just, it's people, right? But if you go into areas that they're not used to seeing people in the water, they follow you, and they'll come at you.
They're ambush predators.
Yeah, well, I think it's to do with territory more, because
I'll tell you a funny story that
you're in theirs. Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story I'm kind of embarrassed about, but I'll tell it to you anyway. So, when the Trenton Rowing Club started up on the river there, I don't know if you've seen that at all.
Yeah.
But so the Rowing and Paddling Club started up. I was helping out, and I was on the committee and all that, and we'd put the docks in every year. And so the one year I was helping put the dock in, and I had my dry suit on. So I got into the river, and we're pulling down the floating dock into the river. And my buddy there goes, "Oh, Darren, look." And there was 3 pike coming up in like attack formation up the shoreline. So it was like 1, 2, 3 coming up at me. And I'm like in my dry suit. I'm a big human, and these are like, 1.5 feet, 2 feet maybe. And he goes, "Oh, Darren, look, some pike are coming to get you." And I'm pulling the dock in, and I think it was because like I was stepping on the rocks and moving the rocks around, so I was making enough noise that it attracted them, like maybe some crawfish or maybe something else going on. And they were coming right up in attack formation, and I freaked out. I jumped out of the water, and I'm like, after I was on the shore and I looked at them, I'm like, seriously, I'm like 5'10", 230 pounds, and they're like, this little 2 foot, 4 pound little fish
with serious teeth, though.
With serious teeth, but like, I mean, I freaked right out.
I thought you were going to say it was a big walleye, because those things are huge, can get huge.
No, these guys.
And you have one of those swim by you.
Yeah, I was like,
how early in the season was it?
Oh, it was like spring. Like the ice was like a few weeks off the water.
Okay, because I was gonna say when they're swimming like that, that may be spawning.
It might have been, but it was.
They may not even be paying attention to what's going on around them.
It could be that. It could have been that too. Yeah.
If that's the case, it would be even more embarrassing for you.
Yeah, exactly. It was embarrassing nonetheless. I was just like,
how would you fill out that police report?
Yeah.
It was fish, man.
What are they gonna do? Bite my ankles? Like seriously? I was like
Scott?
so embarrassed.
Rambling with the drums.
Yeah. Rebel Canners. Polar bears are top of the food chain with Komodo dragons. Oh, what's the other one? There's like 3 of them. There's polar bears, Komodo dragons, and something else. Chris, help me out on this. There's like
there's lots of top of the food chain predators.
No, but like there's 3 animals that will actually hunt humans.
It wouldn't be a Kodiak grizzly, would it? Or
no,
is it
was
those
like,
crazy birds in Australia?
What? Emus,
Those
ostriches?
crazy. No, those great big huge. They look like a dinosaur, and they're ugly. They will literally rip the skin right off. Yes.
But that's in defense of nests.
Okay.
Ostriches will do that too.
I'm positive there's like 3 animals in the world that will actually hunt humans based on, if they get into an engagement with a human.
Lions will.
Polar bears, Komodo dragons.
Don't worry about lions.
And there was something
mountain
else.
lions will.
I
know mountain lions will hunt humans.
Tigers is probably the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I wouldn't want to be face to face with a tiger.
Well, that's the trick, though. Is in some countries where they have to go into areas where there's tigers, they wear a mask on the back of their head.
Yeah.
So that it basically fakes it out that it's a face on the back of their head, so that you never turn your back, because if you turn your back, that's when the tiger. It's not foolproof, but it significantly reduces.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because the tiger thinks you're always watching them. It probably would work on mountain lions too, to be honest. It's just
I'm pretty much at the top of the food chain, but
I was going to say humans hunt other humans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So my husband went up north a lot when he would have to go up, and he sent home video, and we have it saved. When they flew over the water, you can see the polar bears running across and they got really low, and they didn't care. Next night, because they were staying in Thule, and one of the cooks came knocking on their door and said, "We want everyone to stay in your rooms and don't come out." And David's, "What the heck's going on?" He says, "Well, look out your window. There was a polar bear scratching at the back door because they were cooking breakfast and he could smell it. And she was scratching at the back door. They didn't want anyone going out."
Right.
Yeah.
But he's taking. I'm like, "Well, take pictures for me."
I'm guessing all the felines are probably on top of their chain somewhat.
Yeah, they're pretty sneaky.
That's the thing. Like between being chased by a dinosaur back in the day and a tiger, I mean, what'd you say, Darren?
Nothing. I was just sitting down here in the corner, just behaving myself.
Well, you guys heard about the little old lady that the cop pulled over, and he walks up to her window and he says, "Ma'am," and she goes, "Before you start, I got to let you know I got guns in my car." And he's like, "Okay, ma'am, can you just, without moving your hands, can you tell me what guns you have in your car?" She's, "Well, I got a 357 on my hip." He's like, "All right." She goes, "I got a 38 special in my glove box. I got a shotgun in the back seat. I got an AR-15 in the trunk." He says, "Ma'am, what are you so afraid of?" She says, "I'm not afraid of anything."
No, damn right.
I saw a couple of years back. I saw an animal that are so rare around here. I mean, I've seen only 3 times in my hunting life. What's it called? It's a black little animal. It's a little
Wolverine?
Is it? No, I don't think so.
Fisher?
No.
Oh, Fisher, they're We have a problem here.
Fishers, the Wolverines,
Oscar.
the
Pecan? Is it a pecan in English? You call it
the little
pecan?
nuts.
Pecans are
Pecans
nuts.
are
Yeah.
nuts.
Let me check.
You're afraid of my nuts?
Coconut can kill.
Come on. Someone keep this
Yes, coconuts
PG-13,
can
please, already.
If you're allergic,
Hey,
then,
Fisher.
yeah, that could kill
Yeah.
you. I'm trying to think what he would
We
have
got
said.
almost killed by a coconut when we were on the beach at the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah, translation is fisher.
Oh yeah,
There.
a
Those
fisher.
damn
Yeah,
nuts
yeah,
will
we have
kill you
those
if you're not
here.
expecting them.
They can be really aggressive. I've
Yeah,
managed a couple of them here. One was, well, I thought it was a fisher, but it was a mink that was living under my chicken coop floor.
They get pretty
Oh.
big. Those animals get pretty big.
Yeah,
Yep.
fishers get big. They
Yeah.
can take down small deer.
The,
Oh,
we
the
yeah.
have a
male-
problem with them on the base here. In military housing, people were losing their cats and stuff because they were right here on the base. Yeah,
The male fishers are about
they
twice
hiss.
the size of
They
the females.
Mhm.
I saw one at some point. I was waiting in the Jeep. We were deer hunting with my brother and a friend of his, and I already had my buck on top of the Jeep, so I wasn't allowed to hunt anymore. So I was just sleeping in my Jeep and waiting for them. And suddenly, I opened my eyes, and there's this black animal that passed in my mirror there. I couldn't quite see what it was. At first, I thought it was a bear. That's how big it was. I thought it was a black bear, but then by the way it was running, it had to be a fisher. But I mean, it gets big.
They're neat to watch because they do hunt a lot of squirrels and whatnot, and they can actually almost keep up with them at the end of the branches, even though they're quite a big size, quite a good size animal. But they're funny though because they have massive home ranges, so there's not as many of them as you think.
Yeah,
Most of them don't make it to adulthood kind of deal, but I think they're.
I mean, the base has had problems with coyotes too because they're part of the military housing is in the woods. And when we had just had our pug, he was like this big, and we had him out back on going for the night. And my husband turned to say something to me, and he looked back. He goes, "Lynn," I went out, and there was a coyote nose to nose with the puppy, and I'm like, and luckily we scared her off, and I'm like, and I didn't realize I'd never seen a coyote, so I didn't know they got so big. In my mind, I thought coyotes were maybe just a bit bigger than a fox. Holy God, the thing was huge.
Yeah,
like
it gets pretty big.
And they started following the kids to school. Like they had a problem with them. The kids, they'd start following them to school. So people were probably feeding them and leaving food out for them, thinking, oh, we'll help feed the coyotes or whatever. And Barrie area, Borden, they had problems where they were stalking the kids going to school, and the MPs had to start taking the kids to monitor them going to school to make sure they were getting there.
Yeah. Well, animals, once they start associating, okay, humans are giving me food, and then somewhere along the line, humans are food. And that it always ends up, sometimes it ends up bad.
And in the city too, there's no danger.
Right.
You're not getting shot at, you're not getting chased away, you're not getting when I was in Richmond Hill, just north of Toronto there, that's where I shot almost all the coyotes that I've ever shot in my life, because they had no fear of humans. They just came into the horse fields and ate the apples and looked for whatever else was there available. So I was like, no, not a care in the world.
What you need is a donkey.
Yes.
You ever look that up? Look that up online. Donkey killing coyote. That's
I've seen it. My husband, they had donkey protecting their farm when he was younger. That's what they had, and they didn't.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys will probably see it soon, but I just saw a video tonight with it looked like people walking their dog down the street, and they came across a homestead or a farm where they had a horse and a couple donkeys and stuff in a fenced area, and it was barbed wire fence, and it looked like a couple boxers So the boxers were going up and wanting to smell the horses or wanting to play with the horses or the donkey. And one of the boxers touched the electric fence and yip, and
I
runs out
bet.
into the road. And all of a sudden, one of the donkeys just starts going off like he's laughing, like, yo, like just, and it looked like he was laughing his ass off that the dog just got zapped.
How did that go again?
Yeah.
He probably was laughing at him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ellie Dan, we're in Richmond Hill. I was just south of Bloomington. Bloomington? Yeah. South of Bloomington, north of Stouffville on Leslie Street. There's a big couple polo farms there, polo horse farms. I was on one of those horse farms managing it. Just off the 404.
Cool. If you guys are wondering,
okay, who's backing up?
It's something that
No,
I don't know. One of the kids.
It's my husband and son are using the microwave.
Oh, I thought it was here.
Yeah, you
Microwave.
got caught. You're having something this
I
late.
just started using a microwave like 2 months ago, I want to say. I
it's our
never
first one in a long
trusted them
time.
at all.
Mm.
And then finally I'm like, oh, I can heat my coffee up in this? I'm like, okay.
That's literally why we have it, is when we get busy and our tea gets cold and we
but
want
my
to
coffee
zap it
doesn't
again.
taste the same. It's like, I don't know. The aliens that came in and heated it up just did something wrong with my coffee.
Come on, even aliens know you don't mess with a man's coffee.
I know, but they did. They did something naughty in my coffee because it just doesn't taste the same. I mean, it's warm. I'll give them that, but
That's what happens whatever dimension it goes to once you hit the button.
exactly. Like I still see it spinning in there, but is it really there? I don't know.
So that's what happens.
I know. I think, like Chris said, it goes somewhere else, and the aliens screw with it and
It's going in another universe.
bring
Maybe
it back, and it's
comes
just
back.
it's heated up, but it's not the same.
Maybe microwaves have been the portal to all the impending doom going on in the world.
I know.
There's the doom.
Seems legit to me.
Have you guys watched the TV show Fringe?
Yes, my wife used to watch it all the time.
When they switched world, like the agent Olivia Dunham was able to see people from other dimension because she was able to see them glow. It might be the glow that we see in a microwave.
Oh, maybe.
I saw a glow in a microwave once. I want to say it was like 20 years ago. And I was at a house party and someone put their jacket in there to dry it off. And it was a nylon jacket with a metal zipper.
Oh,
Yeah, it glue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
A couple of sparks probably.
Yeah.
I had somebody private message me on one of my videos, and he said, "I thought you said you were off grid and you have a microwave." I said, yeah, I am off grid and I have a microwave. I just have enough battery and a very low watt. I think it's a 750 watt microwave. Takes 10 minutes to heat up a chicken patty, but it's a microwave.
My parents are in the trailer for the whole summer in the middle of the woods, and they have microwave, fridge, stove, everything. Well, it's a propane stove, but I mean, they can use the microwave, and they have a TV and satellite.
I don't trust them. The fact that you can put your phone in there in the middle of a nuclear war and it'll come out okay. What does that say about your food that you're cooking in there?
That it's protected. It's the lead liner.
Or it doesn't let whatever's in there with the food you're cooking get out. Hey, science fiction has an uncanny way of coming true. So
I know. Crazy.
All right, we've been on for 2 hours. You guys
Have we
want to do
really?
some more, or
This has been an awesome stream, man.
it's fun. Laughing some more at Darren.
You guys
So
are
Remy,
just
the live
naughty.
streams, do they count for your hours?
Yep.
Like, oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the best way to get some hours.
Okay. The funny thing is I'm probably going to get to my watch hours before I'm going to get to subscribers.
Yeah.
That's weird. I was just looking at my statistics yesterday and I'm like, how can I have so many? Like, I'm so close to the watch hours, yet I'm nowhere near the 1,000 subscribers. It's weird.
But that's good because that means that your content is people are watching and absorbing your content, even though you don't have as many people. So as the word spreads and all, once YouTube finds out who to put your videos in front of, what your channel is about and all, you'll take off quick, I think.
Okay.
As far as subscribers.
Okay, good.
But
Thanks. I'm new. Just been doing it a few months, so I'm still not understanding all of it.
And how many subscribers do you have right now?
537.
Oh,
This
that's
was
been
my
doing
first
it a
week. I
couple
didn't even
months?
get. Yeah, I started November 28th.
nice.
And this is my first week. I haven't gotten one. Like not even one this whole
It
week.
happens.
Like I've gone a whole week and I'm like, uh-oh.
I
There's
started
some,
in
there's some
January.
great videos out there though that talk about your first 10 to 20 videos are like throwaway videos.
Yeah.
Your next
Yep.
videos are work on this, and then your next videos are work on this. For us, our videos, I've really just started trying to work on more
different style.
camera, doing slow motions, doing other edits, and that, trying to improve it. Whereas before, I was just like trying to get the videos out there, not even thinking. But it's like, if you start working on everything you can now to improve your videos, it's just going to help in the long run.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Editing's exhausting.
Mhm.
Yes.
I started in January of 2021, and I just hit 360, I think it was, a couple weeks ago. So you're doing great.
Yep.
I think what helped me too is I was like different collabs that were going on. If you use their hashtag, that helped me get quite a few in January when I was doing the pantry challenge and we didn't go to the grocery store for the whole month.
Yeah.
So that helped because I got
Yeah,
quite a
right.
few.
You
So,
definitely
and
got
I've
a
been getting,
network too.
Yeah, I love the comments I'm getting. Like people are saying how they like their channel and they show mistakes, and I'm like, I tried to be perfect. It wasn't working for me.
Well, that's what people like. They like the mistakes. They like that they can identify themselves to you.
Yeah.
You watch those big channels and everything is so always perfect. Like
Perfect.
they never make mistakes. Like
Every once in
Yeah.
a while, somebody has to fall on a stick.
Mm.
Right, Remy?
it still hurts.
It does hurt.
And have to blurb some of the words that came out.
And I didn't even notice I was doing the editing, and I'm like, oh, I said those words. Okay, I'm gonna have to beat them out.
That's funny.
I mean, it's not funny you got hurt, but it was just
No.
I'm like, oh, he's bleeping a few things there.
Well, that's why I left it there. It's real. It really happened.
Oh,
Yep, exactly.
Like Tracy's always saying, if people go on my video and get a good laugh out of it, so
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's what my brother does. He says, I watch every one of your videos. He says, and I'm always rolling on the floor or screaming at the TV, one or the other.
well, like they say about celebrities, when they do some stupid stuff, talk about me good or bad, as long as you talk about me. So
Talking about
pretty
me.
much the same with
Yeah.
It's all
YouTube.
promotion.
Yeah, watch my videos for the reasons you want. As long as you watch them, I'm good by it. All right, so seems like the subject is leaving slowly, so we're gonna say our goodbyes, I guess. It's been 2 hours, 10:05. I've been up since 6:30 this morning. I slept for a while though because I had
Yeah.
surgery done, and I was down under for a few hours. But it hurts now, so I'm gonna go take some Tylenol and.
I bet.
Yeah, we're leaving, Angie.
That's fair.
Oh, seriously, Angie?
I'm
You
gonna
just show
stay
up
a little bit
now?
longer. We're gonna stay a little bit longer.
Let's just
Just
stay,
for you,
you
Angie.
know, let's just humor Angie. We'll stay here and go, blah, 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 blah. Angie. Like,
I got two guys who want me to get off the internet so they can go stream some things on TV, probably a horror movie. So that's my cue to leave anyway.
All right. All right.
So
Well,
thanks for inviting me, Remy. It was really fun. I'm definitely
No
going to try and
problem, no
start doing
problem.
some of these, I guess.
awesome.
Great.
so that means we'll have an open space if someone else wants to come.
Yeah.
Just beware, my cheeks are hurting from smiling so much and laughing.
It
so
happens. It happens.
So Angie and Mike, you want to come say hi? You're more than welcome to.
No, they don't want to. They can just, stay where they are. They were late. They don't deserve to come up here, seeing as they were late.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes,
Chris,
Technically late,
since-
but not as late.
you're always late too. Like
That's-
you're late in your comments when we're watching videos and trying to reply, and like just you're horrible. Seriously, like, and even like Facebook messaging. Like seriously, don't even try to like. Oh. So anyway,
Mike
speaking
there
of
too.
which, the day after the conference, we're coming to visit you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so hopefully
No,
you'll
you
be there.
didn't know yet. Okay.
No, we actually told him in a message, but totally missed it. So
Yeah, I did. That was later this afternoon, I'm guessing.
no, it's like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry.
I'm not quite as bad as North Shore. We do check. We don't check after this week. Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
But yeah, we're coming to visit you the day after the conference. So
Oh, that'll be awesome.
okay, good.
Right on, because it's a go. It's a go.
Hopefully,
It's gonna
Okay,
be
guys.
fun.
So now we're set.
hopefully our place won't be a complete disaster.
Oh yeah. Oh, there he
Over
is.
here talking about my wife. I tell you what.
Oh, seriously, you want to take it outside? Let's go. Let's go outside right now.
I'm outside right now. Let's go.
Bring it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the conference is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll get to go see all of you except for Tracy. I don't know if you'll be able to come, but it'd be nice if you could.
I'm gonna try. My brother's got a trip planned for West Virginia to go down, and he's got a side by side, and I'm gonna film it for him. We're gonna ride the Devil Lance. Is it Hatfield or McCoy? The Hatfield McCoy trails.
Cool.
Down there. So I don't know. His son's going to stay here, take care of my animals, and probably party.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, he was. We were talking about it. He says, "Yeah." He says, "Man," he says, "I went in my side by." He's got a an Armax side by side, and he said, "I went through a Taco Bell drive-through in my Armax in the middle of a city." He said a cop pulled up next to me and just waved. Because even in upstate New York, you get pulled over for just being. But
so far the plan is going to work on my end. and I'm very excited. I mean, I'm counting the days. I think we're at 63 dadays before we leave now.
I don't
It's
know.
gonna be awesome.
Boy,
Apparently, someone's excited about it, though.
We'll have internet back up tomorrow. Okay, so we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
63
Then.
days.
Aw,
How many days?
63.
63?
We left.
Okay.
We leave here.
Yeah. So you guys will come here. We'll do a Thursday night live.
Yeah.
We'll do like a bonfire or something like that. We'll feed you some Highland steaks.
Awesome.
And then the Friday, we'll head out to Ontario. We'll hook up with Mike and Angie and visit them. And we'll stay at my parents' cottage. And then the Saturday, we'll go to the conference. And then the Sunday, we'll head down to yours place, Chris's. And then Sunday
back to your
night, we'll
house.
drive home to our place, maybe do another bonfire and have some more Highland cattle. And then you guys will drive home from there.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll take the truck. So if there's anything you need to bring back, chickens, cows, pigs.
Well, I still have to fit them in my Jeep once I'm at your place.
Okay.
So a cow was probably not a good idea.
We can take
I
the
think if the-
trailer.
Yeah,
I just
I think
can't
if my
see it on the
neighbors
screen.
notice the chickens, they might notice a cow. But I really, really want to come back home with some Chanticleer's chickens.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. He said I will drive on the back seat because he have heating front seat and he will put the chickens on there. So I will right on the back seat for coming back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yay!
At least you know where you stand, right?
I'm meeting with Marcy tomorrow for some flyers for the conference. Nice.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's awesome. I'm so looking forward to that.
It'll be
Yeah,
good.
it's gonna be.
It was funny because the last time I was in Ontario there, I didn't have enough time to spend with Mike and Angie. It was just like, I was running late with a client and then had to get to my parents' cottage. So we didn't have that much time. So I'm looking forward to spending more time with them as well. So
And cook a lasagna and everything.
yeah, exactly. Some more lasagna. That'll be awesome. Hopefully she does it right this time.
Yeah, Angie. You should.
Just be careful, Darren, if she has a special plate just for you.
I know she's going to now. I'm
She'll
like,
put it in the microwave just for you.
yeah.
Microwave just for Darren.
Lasagna from another dimension.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
It will be real spring over there. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost
eh?
summer in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting pretty close by that time.
Yeah.
The leaves might not be completely out by beginning of May, but
Marcy told me it could be between 0 and 15. So
yeah,
I
that
agree.
sounds about right.
It would be better than here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
it's
remember.
May 7th.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ice will probably be off the water by then. So
Yeah, it usually is by then.
yeah.
My brother passed away on May 7th, and every year I go at his tombstone and I drink a beer in his honor with him. And I remember a couple of years back, I went to play softball right after, so the field was dry and we had no more snow. And I think that was in 2012. So, there's a possibility that we might not have snow by that time here. So I'm guessing at your place, it should be way better.
Oh yeah, yeah. By kind of middle of April, there's still a chance you'll get snow, but it's pretty much all gone.
I'll have my winter tires on anyway, just in case.
Remy will have a drink at my parents' cottage. Toast you, brother.
Couple of drinks here and there for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we'll be nice, just like one drink, and then another one, another one.
Oh, you sound like me now. Seriously. What the hell?
Well, you're having an influence there. Mid-April, May, nice.
Yeah.
So we'll be cooking lasagna on the fire.
That's funny.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to some lasagna though, because that was freaking yummy.
Cool.
Fiddlehead with lasagna is good.
Oh yeah, and Angie's recipe for it is like crazy awesome.
Nice.
It is.
Don't want to put any pressure on you, Angie, but
No.
it's going to be a lot of people going at your place that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will be hungry.
Yeah. But I know she'll like pay attention to it this time. So
Oh,
That's I don't take any chances with that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's fair.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah. So we're gonna have some Highland cows
yep.
steaks at some point or whatever.
Yeah. We'll do that for the Thursday night. We'll have a big ass bonfire on the Thursday night, do a live, and we'll have everyone on the live. It'll be awesome.
Cool. And then we'll
And-
have lasagna.
Yeah. And Mallory and Ben from Quebec Homestead were talking about coming up to visit on the Thursday night when we're here as well. So
Oh yeah, cool.
we'll see if that materializes. So
I was hoping to see them also, and I know they're a little bit further, so
yeah.
cool.
we'll have to
Are they
figure
going to the
something out.
conference?
They're not sure yet if they're going or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm making a few.
Making a few lasagnas, like apparently one in the microwave, specially seasoned for me, and then the rest for everyone else.
There's 4 of us going for sure.
Yeah. 4 of us will meet you there. Unless Chris and Steph are going to make the trip up on the Friday night.
Oh, we'll have to see. That feels like a long ways away. It isn't, but we're terrible at being able to plan.
It is if you have to do that and then come back for animals and then go back up for the conference and then come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll sort of see as it gets closer. We haven't really sorted all the finer details out. But we'll figure something out for the Sunday for sure.
Yeah, we're going to come and see you for the Sunday for sure anyway. So,
Mm-hmm. Which will be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And yeah. And, on that note, I have to go because
Yeah.
I'm going to say goodnight to some people. But
it's about that time.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were supposed to leave a couple of minutes ago, and so we'll say goodnight, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you guys for being on my live stream. I wasn't expecting to be on, but turns out great. Had
Yeah.
tons of fun.
It was awesome.
So I'll be on live again Sunday after Back to Basics Homestead. I will be interviewing Altruistic Farmstead.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, if you guys are free, well, You're invited to come and have a chat with us. So take care, everyone.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll talk to everybody later.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.